Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with atbbq.com, and this is Texas pork belly with quick pickles. We're gonna smoke up a slab of pork belly today, which of course we all know is a very fatty cut of meat. So to accompany that, we're also gonna make some quick pickles with some vinegar, with some bite, with some spice, some jalapenos, cucumbers, and shallots. Now we're gonna do this Texas style, which you know what that means, it's salt and pepper style, right? We're using our Lone Star brisket rub, which we use on all of our Texas style briskets. Just gonna do it on the pork belly just the same. We're working with a 6-pound slab of pork belly, skin off. It's just got a little bit of trimming to do, really any silver skin I see on the outside, but for the most part it's ready to roll. We're gonna start this off with a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, just to use that as binder. And then we're gonna hit it, like I said, with the Cattleman's Grill Lone Star. This is slightly more than salt and pepper, 4 ingredients. In addition to those two, you've got some roasted garlic and some celery seed. Now we'll go ahead and hit this other side as well. Today we're smoking on the Yoder Smokers YS640S pellet grill. It's running at 250 degrees with hickory pellets. So this belly is going to go right up here on the top shelf, right next to the one that's made exactly the same way, but this one went on 6 hours ago. So now that we've got a great bark on this, that internal temperature's got up to 170 or so, we're going to wrap this up in paper and throw it back on and trap a lot of those juices in there. Throw that right back where it was. I'll throw this temperature gauge in there so we can keep track of it. Now we're going to get into making our quick pickles, and the first thing I'm going to do is break down some garlic on the microplane just so it kind of melts into this brine. I'm going to add 3/4 cup of white vinegar to our pot. Then we'll throw in a tablespoon of our Roadhouse seasoning, which has some nice Southwest flavors to it. We want about a teaspoon of this smoked maple turbinado sugar, and then we want about 1 tablespoon of our Triple Crunch pickled mustard seeds. Add the garlic to the mix, and then we'll just bring this up to a simmer. Now the majority of the stuff that we'll be pickling is jalapenos. We're also going to add some cukes, we're going to add some shallots, but I'm going to cut up about 1 cup of jalapenos to start. Next we've got these cute little cucumbers. We're also going to slice those up just about the same size as the jalapenos. And we'll take a shallot and we're going to slice this thinner than we did the other stuff. Just thin slices. So now we're going to combine our cup of jalapenos, 1/2 cup of cucumbers, and a 1/2 cup of shallots. Let's try to get these evenly distributed. Give it a good shake. And these are going into a pint-sized mason jar. Just pack as much in there as you can. Got a good bubble going now in the vinegar mixture. Pour that right over the top. This should not fill the jar up, by the way. We're going to top it off with a little bit of water. Just top that off all the way up to the top. Throw a lid on it, and it can go into the fridge. If you start making your pickles when you throw your pork belly on, it's gonna have enough flavor to eat with the pork belly the same day, but honestly, it's better overnight, and even more honestly, you should just have a jar of this in your fridge at all times. So the temperature in the pork belly's come up to 200 degrees now. How long that takes wrap just depends on how far along you get in the process before. You can just take a look real quick. Look at that beauty. All right, we gotta give this some time to rest, so I'm gonna wrap it back up. We'll let it sit, and we'll slice into it here in a bit. So by pulling this at 200 degrees, the goal is it's tender, but it's still gonna hold together when it slices. Let's take that end off of there. Certainly looks juicy. The great trick I'll tell you about making sure you've got a tender piece of meat is if maybe you've overcooked it and it's gonna fall apart, you can slice it a little bit wider, right? Or on an angle, just like with brisket. But if it's under, you can always slice it super thin and it's gonna have the appearance, the mouthfeel of being a tender piece of meat. Luckily, we kind of landed in the sweet spot today. All right, so these are some pickles I made earlier this week, which means they taste even better than the ones that we just made. Really pretty pink smoke ring on there. That just pulls right apart. Let's get a bite of that with some of those pickles. Bit off more than I could chew. Unreal. It's just velvety. It's got a little bit of bite to it, but those fatty parts just melt in your mouth. And with that fat coating your mouth, it moves the flavor all the way around. But with it being so fatty, these pickles, they really cut through it. It breaks everything up, it balances everything out. And the spice of the jalapenos is great. Of course, you could do 2 versions of this and just use all cucumbers if you like, or cucumbers and onions. But I love that trio of the jalapeno, then the shallot, then the cucumber. Fantastic flavors. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out atbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoy the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below. Let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to atbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.